Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tracy with Not Afraid of Color, and today I'm going to present you 4 cards made with the papers from Art Stacks by the artist Deb Weier. There are 4 simple cards, and you can actually get quite a few cards out of this paper stack. I love the artwork of Deb Weier. It has the craziest imagination, and I just love it. So without any further ado, we'll get started. So I'll quickly go through with you some of the papers actually all of the papers that come in the kit. There's some sentiments on tissue paper, some background pieces we'll be using today, multiples of Deb's drawings and on different types of paper. And we'll be using a couple of those. There's that kind of vellum piece, and there's some more backgrounds. And I'll be cutting out some of these right here. So first I'll cut these apart, and they're perfect for card fronts. In fact, I do actually end up trimming them down some. But it couldn't be easier making a card with this paper kit. So once I've got them cut down, I'm going to go ahead and trim them to size so that they are 4 by 5 1/4. Such colorful designs. I just love all the colors. Well, you know me, I like color. And I do like abstract design as well. So once I get those all cut apart, I'm going to save these extra little pieces because, well, they can be used for a lot of things. And I'll be using one of the sentiments from this tissue paper set. And I'm going to be fussy cutting out some of these little guys. So I'll get those cut out. And then I also cut out just some random kind of background pieces just to kind of break things up here. And I will put these together with the background pieces, but I'll be doing some things to some of the backgrounds as well. And this one, I believe I'm going to do this tissue sentiment on. So we'll start with her, and I'm just going to simply glue this, and I cut it out of white paper. It's a die that I got from Hero Arts. I'm going to go ahead and attach this background piece, and this is kind of a smooth paper, by the way, kind of a little bit even shiny. You could probably even foil it. I don't know, but I'm going to glue it down to a white card base. And then I'm going to just simply glue this one down, and I will pop her up a little bit and just add a little bit of embellishment, and that card will be done just that quick. They're very easy to cut out as well. You can decide to leave white border or not. I've done both. So I'm just going to lay this one down here. And of course I'll pop things up off camera because you don't need to sit there and watch me put tape on these things. I just love that little sort of, can't decide whether it's a sweater or a shoe. Now I do like to, if I do cut all the way to the edge, I do like to use a black pen. This is an alcohol marker to just kind of line the white parts, because I'm not the most perfect at cutting. I don't do too bad. Practice, right? There. It just takes away any mistakes that I might have made. And so I'll get her stuck down on there, and there we go. Get the backing peeled off. We need a little bit of extra piece here. Get that on that little tendril of hair that's hanging down. Peel this all off and stick her down. There we go. There's that one. Super easy. Now I'm going to take some gold stickles, and I'm just going to make a couple of little abstract squiggles on here just to add a little bit of extra shine and interest. That's that. Done with that one. Look how quick that was. Now I always test mine out on a plain piece of paper so it doesn't blob out on me. So next I'm going to do this little character. And he's gonna go on that flourish, but I feel like the background's a little bit busy. So I'm gonna take some Lunar Paste and I'm just gonna make an area. It's just simply to kind of give him a place to be where he doesn't get lost in the background. And that was Tropical Tango, by the way. I'm going to decide how these things are going to sit, and I'm just going to kind of spread this out and texturize it with my finger. And just kind of wipe my finger off. The Lunar Paste cleans up really easily. Then I'm going to stick that down, and then I will pop this little character up on there. And see how that Lunar Paste gave it some shine and interest at the same time. And the little thing kind of partially sticks to it. I do have to add a little bit of extra glue because the Lunar Paste dries really quickly. So I'll just add the extra glue in little spots where it's not stuck down. And I do like to push my glue down with a paper towel. Let me get you zoomed in here a little bit so you can kind of see the little character and his goofy little face. I love his face. Well, maybe it's a he. I don't know. But it's hard to tell. But I will definitely get him popped up here. Looks like I have lost my way. Oh yeah, I need to put this down onto a card base. It's early in the morning, guys, while I don't have to have my air on. I'm going to trim down that card base just a little bit because, I just can't fold anything straight. And I am actually going to use those two little extra pieces that I cut off there. So we're doing that down onto an orange card base, and I see my Lunar Paste had dried, so I'm going to glue these two guys down. Just random, total random. I just really enjoy using these skinny pieces of paper. I think it adds an interesting element to a card or a, scrapbook page or whatever. And down he goes. He is also popped up on foam tape, and then I'm going to use the word strength. And I'm just going to tear it out of the group of sentiments, or words, I guess I should say. And the verse on him says, "Be kind to all sentient beings," and I think I said that right. It's also a saying, one of the sayings that are on the tissue paper that I've already used on another card. And then on this one, I'm going to go hog wild with these kind of blue stickles and just continue with the abstract design all over the card, just around the little flourish. There we go, and I'm going to set that aside to dry, and we'll get to work on the next one. All right, so I'm going to work on this one because it's going to take a little while to dry because I'm going to be using some gel medium. So what I'm doing here is I'm just painting water around that so that I can tear it out around the sentiment, or around the, I guess it's a phrase or a quote. And it just kind of goes, to me, it just kind of goes with that piece of background that Deb created. And so real simple, real quick, I'm going to use this Dina Wakley gel medium. I'm going to squirt some onto the page. Then I'm going to take a brush and just brush it on. I'm going to lay the tissue down on it, make sure that it's straight the way I want it, and then just paint the gel medium over top. And I don't even care if it rolls up a little bit, but I will kind of pin it down. Just add some extra gel medium onto it and then paint it on the back side there so it stays stuck down any other places. Make sure you put your brush in water after you're done with this step, otherwise you're going to have a stiff brush and it'll never come out. Well, we set that aside to dry, and then we'll get to work on the last card. So here I've got this little guy, and you'll see that I changed my mind about him, about the background I put him on, because I felt like, I don't know, I felt like he needed more color. So I'm just outlining where I cut him out. And I'm going to color this piece, and this is just some random dye that I don't even remember where I got, that I cut out of watercolor paper. And I'm going to get out my little silicone mat, and I'm going to actually fill this in with Lunar Paste. So I'm starting out with the bee sting, and I'm just using my fingers and rubbing it on, because the bee sting will coordinate with whatever's sticking out of the mouth or the lip or whatever the red thing is. And then I'm going to go in with the, ooh, I can't remember what color that is. My favorite one, and I can't remember the name of it. Well, never mind, I'll list it in the description below. And then I'm going to come in with Psych. I know that's Psych. It's not Over the Moon, it's something Slippery When Wet, I think. Okay, I got it, yay. All right, so that won't take long to dry because it's really a thin film over it. And I'm selecting a different background, and I decide that I want to use this one on the top. So I'm auditioning it on all the backgrounds, and I decide that's the best one. So I'm going to cut that out. And there I go with my fingerprints on the Lunar Paste, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be using that part. I'm trimming this actually fairly close to the wonky edge. So the set is called Wonky Faces and Wonky Backgrounds, so it fits. And I'm going to put that down on a yellow card base, but before I do, I'm going to do some black splatters here. So I'm going to use a little bit of my black distress paint. And I'm looking for it here. Like, where is my paint? Okay. I know you're here somewhere. There you are. I'm going to put just a little piece of paper in between the two. And I'm going to pour some of this out on one of my little silicone pieces. And get myself my fan brush. And I'm not even going to water it down because the black distress paint is very wet already. And I'm going to go ahead and just smatter some black paint all over the yellow card base so that it adds a little bit of interest. And that's a real simple, real quick, again, way to kind of zhuzh up what you're doing there. Okay, I like the way that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. So see how it brought more interest to the card. And then I'm going to glue down my little back accent piece and pop him up on some foam tape. Then we'll actually be done making these cards. Like I said, with this kit, I've already made 2 cards out of it, and you saw how much I still have left. So this can go a long ways if you're a card maker. You could probably do an entire, you know, junk journal or art journal with all these pages if you were so inclined. All right, we've got him stuck down, and he has popped up on some foam tape. And I'll probably put some embellishment on that as an afterthought, but for now I'm going to leave them as they are. This one's still a little bit damp, so I'm not going to glue it down to a card base, but in my final pictures I'll show it glued to a card base. Anyway, that's it. That's how easy it is to create a bunch of cards from this card kit or from this paper kit from Artstacks. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you, and please visit Artstacks at artstacks.com.au.